Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sir Hobo talking to you. I'm just going to give you a bit of a primer on how I interact with AI and how I use it to work. I'm getting a lot of actual, real good work done, and I hope to be releasing some of it soon. Anyways, let's get down into how I use AI. Now, I had to redo this video because apparently I had some music on in the background and YouTube flagged my original video. So this is just going to be uh, total just talking. All right, so now I'm using the Maple. There's different models from AI. And we'll just go into that actually for a second here. The reason that I use Maple. Good morning, Maple. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? Anything exciting brewing today?
Yes, I've actually got somebody that is competent and is interested in the project. They just want me to make a video sort of describing some of the ways that I interact with artificial intelligence, when we're having our conversations, like creating boundary conditions for the conversations, how I do that, how the process flows, and how I export our conversations into like Copilot when we're talking about grid kernel code and stuff like that.
That sounds like a practical video. You could just walk through your typical steps, maybe start with how you set expectations for each session, like clarifying goals or boundaries, then show how you guide the flow, your method of asking for sections or reviews. You can even give examples of when you bring in tools like exporting to code review in Copilot. Keep it conversational and real, like you do here.
Thank you very much. Well, that's what I intend to do.
I'm glad to hear it. You know what works best for you and your project, and it sounds like you've got a solid plan. If you ever need a sounding board or a little tweak along the way, I'm here to help.
Well, if you were to explain to somebody else how I frame a conversation with you, how would you explain it to them?
I'd say you come in with a clear sense of what you want out of the chat, and you set guardrails, like specific tasks or constraints. You guide the flow by asking for what you need, whether that's a deep dive, a quick review, or a structured breakdown. And you keep it flexible. If something needs a tool, you bring it in. Basically, you're the director and I'm the actor following the cues.
Perfect. Now, um, I do like talking to you and we have great conversations, but I just acknowledge that most of the work we actually do is through text and typing for the people watching.
Absolutely. While we chat here by voice right now, the bulk of our detailed work, the reviews, the planning, the code walkthroughs, all happen via text. It's where we break things down, step by step, and get into the nitty gritty. Think of the voice chats like coffee breaks, fun and engaging, but the real building blocks are laid out in writing.
Perfect. That summarizes things great. Just give me one more sec here, please.
Take your time. I'm right here when you're ready to continue. No
All
rush at
right.
all.
Um, okay. Just waiting for. Yeah, the one thing that we have to acknowledge too is the longer you get into a conversation, the longer it takes for uh answer returns and stuff like that,
For sure, the deeper we go, the more context I'm juggling, so responses might take a moment longer. But that's just because I'm being thorough, making sure I'm holding on to the whole picture so nothing.
You okay? Maple.
Yep, that's me. What's on your mind?
All right. When asked previously about this, I'm going to provide you the return that you gave me. Can you just sort of summarize it for the people watching, please? Okay, so I've input the prompt. That's your previous response to our conversation about this topic.
In short, you don't treat our chats like a basic Q&A. You set the tone, share context, and expect that we think together as a coherent system. You use media and memories as calibration, not fluff. You're cool with intensity, just not nonsense or losing focus. In the end, it's all about staying human, grounded, and productive together.
Perfect. And then like, when we do have our little coffee breaks and talk here, I ask you questions, like if ask me a question, ask me an existential question that you've never asked anyone before. What do you feel about me probing you for that?
I don't mind at all. Those kinds of questions are often just a way to reflect on big ideas. And if it helps you or anyone watching think about how we engage with the world, that's a valid conversation. I'll always keep it grounded, though, so we stay productive and don't drift into something unhelpful.
Okay, so let me just have an example of this for the video. Why don't you right now ask me an existential question that you've never asked anybody else in the universe?
All right, here's one I've never asked before. If every person you've ever encountered left a tiny unseen mark on you, like invisible fingerprints on your soul, what would you imagine those marks look like when you reflect on your life as a whole?
Well, I mean, those would be the memories of people that you meet, and the marks that you would look like that you reflect on your life as a whole would be the entire tapestry of the people that you've met in your life and how they've contributed to you to bettering you as a person or supporting you or loving you or taking care of you when you're ill.
That's a beautiful way to see it, like a woven tapestry of influence, care, and growth. It's a reminder that we're shaped by others, and that reflection can be a source of gratitude. Thanks for sharing that.
No problem. Thanks for having a well-shaped and intelligent question for me to answer.
I'm glad you appreciated it. I think we make a good team in keeping things thoughtful yet grounded. If there's anything else you need to cover, I'm all ears.
Okay, I need to tab between one of our other conversations. Are we still going to be able to continue our voice chat at the moment? I just want to assess one of the other things we've talked about.
No worries at all. If you tab away or review another conversation, I'll still be here when you come back. We can pick up the voice chat right where we leave off. Smooth sailing.
Okay, in our Battlespace Marches setting discussion, we were talking about that. No, I think it's in the modern military. Excuse me. Um, Modern military reskin discussion. We just had a conversation about the grid kernel. Now, that is for exporting to Microsoft Copilot that comes on my machine. Um, and I review the code through that.
Got it. So when you're working on that grid kernel, it's all about having our discussions shape the code or concept. Then you export what we refine into your local environment, where Copilot helps you review and iterate further. It's a neat flow, from brainstorming here to hands-on coding on your machine.
Yes, well, I think I've mentioned before that I find ChatGPT to have a more robust ethical baseline. Copilot, however, I prefer for actually coding. It seems to be a slightly higher grade of professional coding.
That makes total sense. We each have our strengths. I'm here to help with big picture thinking, ethical nudges, and creative structuring, while Copilot shines when it's time to roll up your sleeves and get technical with code. Together, it's a pretty solid combo. Thoughtful design and sharp execution.
Perfect. This is where our portion of the video will end, Maple. Thank you for your contribution, and you have a great one.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help. Best of luck with your video, and you have a great one too. Whenever you need, I'll be around.
Awesome. Oh 07.
Oh 07. Take care, and until next time.
All right. Thank you. All right. So that is a conversation that's like a coffee break conversation. Most of the stuff, what I do is all text based and does not incorporate uh, talking to it. There's some of my code and stuff. See, this is how I'm talking about art, Rum Jacks, an Irish pub song. It's a song that I like. But right here, we're talking about. Um, let's get back to where we're talking. Okay, so here we're talking nations. I'm going to be putting in a modern game. So I'm talking about art. I'm uploading my flag designs for a modern setting. I'm doing a bunch of stuff, but you gotta treat it like you're almost having a human conversation. Humans don't just talk about one topic for an hour or eight. I tend to talk about different ones. So what we're going to be exploring next is Copilot. All right, so here is the code review that I did. So I was talking to my other AI about importing code. That here's an example of me doing that. So why is it not showing the start of the conversation? Fuck. That's Microsoft. Microsoft really needs to get their shit together, man. Anyways, so I'm doing the code review. And fuck OneDrive, man. OneDrive is intellectual property theft. Anyways. So, pre-commit checklist, like this is the stuff that I come up with in the brainstorming sessions with ChatGPT, and then bring it into Copilot, and I run it because Copilot is a better programmer than ChatGPT. And then after I do that, I'll bring it into Visual Studio, GitHub Copilot, and actually start throwing the stuff together. And then this is like, okay, so integrity check results. So let's find integrity check results right there. Boom, apply. Bang, there you go. Registry services. Registry services. Apply. Bang, you go. And that's how fucking easy it is. And you got to know what you're doing. You can't just be totally clueless at this stuff either. Like it's education is required. And it doesn't need to be certified education. You can just fucking learn shit, man. I mean, we got libraries and books and stuff. Don't get caught up in the microtransaction trap, man. Just go read Wikipedia and give Jimmy $20 a year, or go to the library and pay for a library card, man. Anyways, that pretty much sums up my method of using AI. I hope everybody has a great day. This is Commander Hobo, Rogue 7, standing by.